Hey there. I decided to make a video on SBAs because I've seen a lot of people not use them that well. I feel like a lot of people don't know the potential behind SBAs. Now, if you're a solo player and you actually need to play well to do the content instead of just getting carried online, you might already know a bunch of these by trying to optimize how you play. I'm going through different clips here to showcase you these things, and I will tell you what their uses are. So the very first thing is Instant SBA when an enemy enters Overdrive. The reason why this is good is because there are some enemies that will instantly enter Bloodthirst when they go into Overdrive. So this way, and we will show later, you might be able to skip the entire mechanic. Because Bloodthirst, right, it lets you do very little damage. It makes it so you cannot use the SBA, and you basically just have to avoid damage and do the mechanic until it resolves. And to show you real quick what I mean by instant Bloodthirst on the same enemy, we will see if I do not SBA, he will instantly go into Bloodthirst and you have to do the entire mechanic. Next up, we have a clip where I will show you the very first technique that I showed, the instant SBA when the overdrive happens, and then how you might be able to skip entire phases of a boss if you do enough damage. Now in this clip it's not quite enough, but it basically demonstrates you the point that I'm trying to make here. Next up, we have time freeze. Basically what SBA does is, when you use it, the enemy is stuck in the SBA, right? And the time of the mission will not count down, and if there's any DPS check or mechanic that has like a bar filling up, it will stop it entirely, and that can buy you more time to be able to do what you have to do. And then there's also the delayed chain burst. Now this is really useful because it lets you get out more damage during the entire SBA window. And I will show you the clip now, and then I will show you the comparison, so you can see how much more time you actually have to do free damage. Because remember, as long as the SBA chain is going on, the enemy will be stuck doing nothing. And the last clip I want to show you is killing an enemy before it can enter overdrive. So this is usually used at the end of the fight. If you have enough damage, you might be able to skip the enemy going into overdrive because it costs time. And always remember, during overdrive, an enemy takes less damage. So your damage cap gets lowered while the enemy is in overdrive. And last but not least, we have something that I call the double duo burst. Now what is that? As the name suggests, instead of doing a full chain burst, you have 2 players each doing a SBA and then doing a duo burst. And what this does is, it regenerates for the other 2 players 20% SBA gauge, and you still get a lot of time to do damage. You might want to use this when an enemy is about to get broken, and then you can save the other 2 SBAs for later. I do not have a clip to showcase this because I do not have friends, and you cannot really do this with AI teammates. So you need to play with 4 people, and you need to coordinate this. And basically, the good thing about this is, when you do a duo burst, the enemy will still get stuck into this down state, you will get a lot of free time to do extra damage. And because you're not doing a full chain, you can alternate, and while the other 2 have not full SBA gauge after the first use, they can start regenerating SBA extra, so you can kind of alternate between those 2 back and forth. I think it might be useful in certain situations. Sadly, I do not have a clip to show because this is sad. This requires coordination, but I believe if people want to min-max, they might be using this technique later on. And yeah, that's it. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope it helped you somehow. Maybe you already knew of some of these things. Anyway, if it did help you somehow, please leave a like. It would make me very happy. We've been growing really, really big recently. It makes me very happy to see all the support. And yeah, that's it. Bye bye.